All right, so we welcome you in to another one of our interviews here on Sports Central on Bulldog Sports TV, brought to you by Harrison County Community Hospital. We appreciate their sponsorship and all of our sponsors that allow us to bring you all of the action. We were in Milan last Friday, and we'll be tonight actually doing this interview on a Tuesday morning. Tonight, our first volleyball game of the year, and then Thursday with softball, and then back at it Friday with another varsity football game. But today we have Coach Chris Schoning from South Harrison varsity football team. And Coach, first off, congratulations on the big win, 1-0. Not only just 1-0, but 1-0 in conference as well over Milan. And maybe just talk a minute about what that game looked like from the sidelines to you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Boys did a good job Friday night. I thought we executed pretty well. Definitely some things we still got to clean up, but for a week one game, and all the moving parts that we had, especially on defense, I thought the boys did a fantastic job of communicating on the back end of things. Did a good job there. I think we gave up one pass. Honestly, it wasn't horrible coverage. Just good ball, good catch. But overall, I thought the boys did a really good job Friday night.
Yeah, and so we can actually take a look at a little bit of it here. Let me see if we can figure out this. So this is getting ready for your first score. So you came into this game. I would assume, especially with some of the change at quarterback with Jet Cornett playing quarterback, having played wide
Right.
receiver with Bryce Quillen out, that you were going to run on that, or you were going to lean on that run game, returning Craig Coffey, returning Mason Galloway, who had been there, and so that first one from 45 out, and it shows right kind of that lead play left, and then Mason Galloway uses vision, breaks a number of tackles,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then
Good
hits the
effort.
gas with that speed.
Yeah, no, he Mason did a great job. And that's kind of what we wanted to see from him. I thought he took a great step last year, and filling in that role, helping Cray. A lot of teams are keen on him. We all know that, but I thought he even took another step on Friday night, where now we really truly do have two solid running backs, and you're gonna have to key on both those guys. So that's gonna make our offense even better. And then talking about the game a little more, like Kale Taggart, looks like we
Yeah, and
have
so
him at
this play right here is a Kel Taggart. You'd been running with Cray and Mason, and here a little reverse action.
Yeah, and that's what Kale's going to be really good at for us. He's got the speed. It's going to help us get to the perimeter, and that's what we really got to try to do a lot this year, is just really stretch out the defenses. Get some other guys out of that box. A lot of teams like to load up the box on us, so the more guys we can get out of the box, the better it's going to be for us. And Kale did a great job of getting to the perimeter, getting huge yards for us, and yeah, that's big momentum for us right there.
And so it sets up what ends up being a pretty easy play here, especially with your line play. Craig Coffey just from a yard out sticks it in to go up 14-0. So at this point, up 14-0, I would assume you're feeling pretty good. Milan ends up coming, throwing the ball fairly successfully
Mhm.
on that one drive, and a lot of them were short passes and
Yep.
doing it that way. They had the kid, I can't think of his name. I think
Yep.
McDonald, 24, that broke some tackles and able to
Yep.
score. But then you
Yep.
guys come right back, methodical. Here's I think a big run, yeah, by Mason on a big third down right around midfield.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge run there. Line did, like I said, Line did an awesome job. We kind of put some different guys at running back. I thought they all did a really good job blocking. We still missed some blocking assignments. I just got a little confused. Had some guys leak through, so there's definitely stuff we can still clean up and get better at. But I thought for the first game out, the line did a really good job up front. I thought Teagan and Jet did a great job. They're both new at that position, and I thought they really did a good job. We didn't have any bobbled snaps or anything like that, and a bobbled snap that can kill it down. So that was really big for us too. So I thought overall we played a pretty solid game for the first game.
No, and that was one thing Andrew Sweat and I talked about in pregame with the new quarterback. Snaps are so huge. That's not
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
something that even if you're a good athlete, that's just a different thing. You're sticking your
Oh yeah.
hand up in there and
Oh yeah.
making sure your fingers are wide and your hands wide,
Hmm.
that you don't close it too soon or come out too quick. And so, Coach Andrew Sweat and I were talking. If you look at Milan early, and it kind of surprised me a little bit, knowing that with the new quarterback situation, knowing with the run game you were returning, they had their safeties way off the ball the first
Yeah.
drive or two. And then as they started to creep up, you guys were able to do this right here on a play as Jet Cornett comes, squares up, and Kel Taggart just ran by a flat-footed corner out there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what the flex bone. That's why we like running the flex bone. You know, you get a lot. You can motion pretty much every single play, and once you start seeing that motion so much, you just kind of tend to start going with it. And then once we kind of see, those safeties and corners starting to bite, now when we know we can pull the trigger.
Now this is the play, and you mentioned it, their second and final score. Um,
Yep.
I thought this was pretty good coverage here. I think it was Mason Galloway.
Yeah. And we kind of
I,
made that adjustment in game. Like I said, yeah, it was a good ball. Quarterback put it right where he needed to. Good catch by the receiver, but I think Mason. I mean, we'd been running him a ton right before that. I think he was getting a little tired too, but overall, he was still in really good position, and we kind of moved him over to go cover 34 man to man a little bit. Just yeah, like I said, just a good ball, good catch, and that's going to happen. We talk to the DBs all the time about that. I mean, it's good defense, but it's better offense. So
and
move on to the next play.
and that's one of those you look right because he's got no safety help in the middle. Uh,
Right.
Maybe you watch film, you're like, hey, could my linebackers have got a little deeper to get in those
Yeah.
gaps? But again, when a guy makes and that receiver had played really well. And Mason was almost step for step. It was just
Hmm.
really a perfectly placed ball. And
Yeah.
sometimes the other teams just go and make plays.
Right. And yeah, that's going to happen. And we were really worried. We wanted to contain that quarterback. We didn't want him getting out and being able to run for big yards. We kind of noticed he did that in Jamboree the week before. So we were kind of keying on that big time. And I thought our defense did a great job containing him, um, putting a lot of pressure on him. But like that play, like I said, yeah, you're right.
So
He just
so let me ask you this. So now it would be 21-14.
yes.
They had not stopped you all. You guys had moved the ball. You'd scored all three times. You'd had the ball. You guys got to stop early because they wanted the ball on the kickoff to begin the game. You
Hmm.
get the stop, so it puts you up. Did you feel any kind of pressure, or the team? Did you sense pressure? Or do you think they were just, hey, Nick's played. Let's get after it.
I thought the boys overall did a good job. I think after that one, I mean, we were kind of feeling down about ourselves. He said, "Guys, it's a good catch." I was like, "Move on. Let's move on to the next play. Let's go get a score, get a stop, and get another score." And that's what the boys did. And I thought overall they handled. I mean, you could call that a little adversity right there because yeah, right at that point it's 14-21. They're still in a good. We're still in a ball game, and we had to keep our foot on the gas. And I thought the boys did that pretty well.
Well, and you came back, and we're going to see it on this drive. You leaned on Cray Coffee. He had a couple of big drives, a couple of big runs here. Again, well blocked, but he bounces off a tackle, gets in to the secondary, and he's got to be one of those kids. If you're a safety or a corner, you don't want to see coming downhill
Yeah, no,
if you're
yeah.
back there.
I mean, yeah, if I was in high school, I don't know if I'd want to see him coming. Um, but no, and that's yeah, we kind of leaned on Cray a little more of that series just because I thought Mason was getting a little gas, so we tried to save his legs a little more for that series. But overall, I thought the boys looked like they were in pretty good condition. We had perfect weather for our first game in
Yeah,
August. It couldn't have been any better. So that definitely played a huge role in that too. Um, but yeah, I thought both running backs ran hard. I thought our line did a good job blocking. Like I said, definitely some things we got to clean up. But yeah, overall, I thought boys did a really good job that night.
and then defensively, so you guys stuck it in after this. They called him just short of the goal line. Then defensively, I thought. number one, I thought everyone was flying to the ball, but across the
Yeah,
line, I thought Ethan Smith had a nice game. And here he gets a tackle for the loss as the quarterback's kind of sprinting out, and he's able to grab him and toss him down a little bit. Uh,
yeah,
but
we had a little
I thought
kick
he
there.
had a great game there from that
He
defensive
did.
end spot.
No, he did. Yeah, Ethan Green, or Ethan Smith, we call him. His nickname's Green, but he he's one of those guys that you kind of see as a freshman. You're like, oh man, this little skinny kid getting beat up on the scout team. What's he going to turn into? But he has done a fantastic job these last 3.5 years, just lifting as hard as he can lift, getting bigger, getting stronger. Great attitude too. Works hard, gets after it. Very very coachable. So yeah, he has come a long way. Same thing with Nick Mars. We didn't really know what we were going to get out of him either as a freshman. So both those guys have come a long way, and we needed them. They've made our line even better. Where now I can feel very good knowing I can go right or left with those guys up there. So that's huge for us.
And so then you come back again. They're kind of creeping up a little, and
Yeah, they start
another
forcing us.
pass play. Jet almost falls. I don't know if he just kind of stumbled or got stepped on coming out, but able to get to Mason. Then Mason
Yep.
makes it happen on the run after catch.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and when we start seeing guys, and that's going to happen a lot, and people are going to want to, try to put a lot of pressure on us and blitz those linebackers a lot, and so we got to be able to throw the ball and get it out quick and get to the perimeter.
And so one of the things I think everyone coming in, and again Andrew Sweat and I talked about it. I think most teams you're going to play know what they're going to get from Cray Coffee. They've seen him the last couple of years. They know he's big, strong. He's fast enough to break away if he's
Yeah,
able to do that. And we saw a couple of his big runs here, and he had a number of those throughout the night. But I talked to you after the game as you were coming up into the press box. Uh, Really, I feel like it was a coming out party for Mason Galloway. He's always
yeah,
shown some speed and flashes, but this is another play he scores here for you to get up over 40, and he gets it. He gets
it's
stopped.
a hard run. Yeah,
Yeah, he bounces out. He breaks another tackle and then dives into the end zone. And
right,
I think he just showed some things that we hadn't seen out of him to
right,
this point.
absolutely.
He's right. He's had the ability to get edges, but now he's finding space and running patient.
Yeah, now yeah, he can break tackles. I think his vision has got just so much better. I think he just feels a lot more comfortable back there right now. His vision just seems to me like last year. I thought a couple of times, oh, you could have kept going outside and you try to cut it back in. But this year, I thought he was a lot more patient with his blocks. Letting those develop and then making his cut off those. I thought he did a really really good job doing that.
And so then we come back. This play is going to be a pass out. So 41-14. And a lot of people, I think, if you're not familiar with high school football, you don't understand the running clock rule and the importance
Hmm.
of getting that done. Really
Right.
for both teams because as soon as you can be able to get to a point where you can get your JV in, the clock's moving.
Hmm.
I mean, that was a long game anyway, a long halftime,
Right.
I think it was
Yeah.
almost 10 o'clock when we got packed up and got out. And so here, as a play caller coach, you're seeing what they're doing. And so you look at this and you've got one-on-one on the outside with Kel Taggart.
Yeah.
That corner is about 10 yards off.
Yeah.
Uh, and so you dial up a pass play here.
Yeah, we just throw a quick hitch out there. See the corner playing off. I saw, they're overhanging their outside backers, starting to creep up a little more. It's like, okay, this is the time to throw that quick hitch. And yeah, Kale made a good play, and that's the kind of athlete he is. If he can, especially out on the perimeter there, if he can make one guy miss, he's gonna get a lot of yards for us.
And so you get up that point, 48-14. You're starting to get some other players in, and we talked about him a little in the preview with you.
Hmm.
Uh, Case Moore, you got a sophomore in
Yep.
at running back, and he doesn't quite get in here, but he shows you what he can do as a hard runner between the tackles here.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just downhill. Running through three, four guys trying to carry the pile, does a great job, hits it hard. And that's the thing, he gets north and south, and that's what I've always told him. Like running backs, you guys got to get north and south, and Case does a really good job of that for us. And I mean, yeah, he showed that he can fill in. If Trey ever needs a blow or Mason ever needs a blow, he's a viable option for us there.
And so 1-0 on the season, 1-0 on the GRC. Uh, but you're right back in it. You've got Putnam County coming at home this Friday. Did you have a chance to watch Putnam County, and what are you kind of expecting out of them this week?
Yeah, they run a similar deep or offense to us. It's kind of like the flex bone, like they like to go the two wings. It's just in the pistol formation. So we're kind of familiar with that a little bit, which is good for us, I think. Um, Defensively, it looks like they like to rotate a ton of guys, which is it can be a huge advantage. So we got to be ready for that. I don't think they're going to get tired. They rotate really well, so we know that they're going to be in good shape, um, and they're gonna want to bring it. We got to be ready for them. They got a good team. They got a good running back. Got a quarterback that very smart. Good athlete, can throw the ball really well. They got some receivers that can catch it. So, overall, they have a very good team, and we got to be really prepared for that.
So for the most part, I know you see things differently on film when you watch it as a coach. You're always going to be more critical, but just calling the game and watching it, there weren't a lot of what I would see as a glaring error or a major mistake. Right, uh, the first touchdown for Milan, they broke a few tackles, couple of times. We
Hmm.
overplayed on that one. We went for
Right.
a strip late, but there's nothing really just glaring as far as errors. I think the other thing, penalty wise, and a lot of times early in the season you see that you guys played a really clean game. I don't even remember. Uh, I guess the pass interference, which we'll see
Yeah.
about that, but penalty
Yeah.
wise, you guys were fairly clean.
No, for the most part, yes. And that was a big thing. And I think a lot of that just comes from these guys being seniors and having all that experience. We had one penalty where we were offsides. Just my receiver. He just lined up about an inch or two past the ball and didn't check with the referee. And it's just little things that you don't always get used to until you get into the season. So definitely got to clean up those things. But yeah, as far as the little things like you said, tackling can always get better. Definitely gonna work on that a lot this week because they do have hard runners that'll break tackles. So we got to make sure that we're rallying to the ball. Which, like you said, I thought we had worked on that a ton. These last 3 weeks, just pursuing the ball, not thinking like, hey, my buddy's over there, he's got it. No, we got to get to everyone's got to get there. And I thought, for the most part, we did a good job there too. There's some things on the line that we can get cleaned up. Just footwork stuff, really. Getting your body in the right position. Definitely some things we can clean up there. But yeah, I agree with you, CF. I thought overall for the first game, especially, and some new guys in different positions, the boys did a pretty good job.
Yeah, and it's always a whole lot easier to work on those things after a win, right?
Yeah,
Knowing,
absolutely.
hey, we've got it. But Putnam, again, one of those teams that was picked towards the top of conference in the
Hmm.
preseason things. So you've got some real tests here early. You knew Milan was always going to be a tough matchup. New coaching staff, you weren't quite sure what you were going to see,
Right.
but at least now you've got a week of game film to look at with Putnam. And I would assume the boys are excited playing at home for the first time here, again with so many seniors, and
Oh, yeah.
so Coach, good luck on Friday. We appreciate your time. The plan is with Coach, we had the holiday this week, but to do these on Monday and try to get them out maybe by Monday afternoon. So we appreciate your time and good luck
Absolutely.
this week. And we look forward to doing this again next Monday.
Thanks, CF. Appreciate it.